Hello, viewers. I'm SB.
And I'm Amabel.
All right, good to know you're going to be here at full strength, full power. Welcome back to Amabel Goes to Forex School, where we're looking to put this game into the. How do you say finish a thing without saying put it in the garbage? Because that's not what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? We're finishing it up. We're trying to wrap it up. So Ulundi is our next project. We should try to retake Ulundi. I think that would probably break their war support down. But if I'm honest, I think we should try to get Harappa as well.
Okay.
I think we should get a good foothold on this continent so that if they get touchy again, we could just fucking land rush them and be done with it.
I feel like if you're trying to get the game to finish faster,
I am.
then
Here's the thing. The game's over. We win.
yeah,
But I
you
want.
already know.
But I want to show. We could just tap. Do you want to just say okay, good enough? I want you to see the ending, right? Like
Right.
so.
No, I get it.
But the game is over, and this is the thing. This is the thing that I think these games are pretty not good at is determining when the game is over.
Yeah. So if you want I'm saying if you want the game to get over faster, I don't think saying put it in the garbage is gonna help. You need to maybe call it a good girl, give it some encouragement.
Amabel.
You can do it for me. I know you can.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well they're airstriking me now, which I do not appreciate.
Humankind has a praise king. It's not my fault.
They are deleting Amabel. They are deleting our districts. And we are not past the 1 minute mark. Do you like it when I have money?
Yes.
Okay, then maybe keep your ass under control until the advertisers aren't paying attention anymore. Look at all the ruins. Jesus. Look at all the ruins. This is a nightmare. It turns out like modern era warfare is incredibly destructive and sucks a lot.
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody tell me? All right, let's take this army and fucking get over here. We got to get onto this landmass and make shit happen in a hurry. Okay. Is she trying to white piece me again? I refuse.
You must be out of your mind. No chance.
So she's gaining war support from having damaged our districts with her bombers, which is actually like it's a very annoying thing for the game to do because of the way war support works, right? Like that is a way of drawing out the war forever that I actually really hate. Does Brown have troops crossing? Okay, Brown does have troops crossing. I think it's time to fuck them. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, get to them from both sides.
I want my allies to attack like here. I'm saying let's push Thebes. Let's take territory. Let's get this over with. I got shit to do. Unfortunately, revolutionizing armies is very fucking expensive.
Modernizing. Revolutionizing also probably would be pretty expensive.
Yeah, okay. So the battleship has the bombardment ability. We should move over here and do some of that. So we're not going to be able to do any bombardment this turn, but next turn, bombardment.
Remember how scared you were to cross the ocean a few episodes ago?
Yeah, they had stuff. Ships were scary. Now I am less concerned, for sure. You guys are good there. Okay. City wants to build planes? City wants to build infrastructures? I mean, city wants to build... man, our science districts here are not even very good. Although obviously the only way to make them better is to build more of them. Yeah, I guess let's push science, because like that's still, I think, the way. Okay, they have this big army of frigates and stuff. Are you guys gonna be I'm a little nervous about that. Another stealth corvette's 11k. All right, I need more ships. It's my feeling. Bombarding their aerodrome. I'm fucking up their boats. Boats? Planes. Fucking up their planes.
What if their boat is a plane?
What if their boat is a plane? Holy hell.
What if it's tailspin? Hey, yo. I think a boat and a plane at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, a seaplane, yeah. This is like, that's a whole thing. All right, let's go to Ulundi. Let's fuck their shit up.
I love it when you sing on camera.
Yeah.
You sing every day in our day-to-day life.
I do sing a lot. It's actually ridiculous. And I am.
It's wonderful and has improved my life immeasurably.
So our plan here is to attack from the sea. Is this a thing? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, we haven't done a lot of amphibious assaults. I guess let's find out how they work.
Usually they're very expensive and costly.
But we have support bombers. So they have a single steam frigate nearby and also an extra dragoon. I don't think that guy's legs look up to the task at all. Let's do it. Instant resolution. Pretty unfriendly to my units. We will manual battle. That's happening. Yeah, I don't really know. Okay. End deployment. And then we're gonna do here, I think, the same thing we did last time, where we pull back and just bomb the shit out of an opening, and then all right, is the two bomb squadron is not sufficient. Let's make sure this goes down. So what do you think of, like, we've been remarkably quiet on the subject of the war systems that we're seeing.
So, I mean, these make sense for this kind of, this kind of era stuff, which is not generally the era I have the most information about.
Sure.
I'm somewhat conversant, in some aspects of, like, tank doctrine, air doctrine, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But not to the same degree as in, like, Napoleonic warfare, Civil War warfare, that kind of thing. But it does seem like a nice progression. I do feel like there's still too much of the kind of trying to flatten everything into a
single combat system.
Yeah. But I definitely like this a lot better than the ones I've seen in Civ. Not as much as I liked Endless Legend and Endless Space. But
well, I mean, Endless Legend, if you're gonna, not to be like, hey, actually, what if you hated games I like? But if you're gonna talk about systems that do flatten things to a degree that is maybe not always beneficial, I think you got to give Endless Legend some shit, right? Like
a little bit, but like, I don't know, I think both this and Endless Legend and the combat systems, the units have enough specificity to give it a little bit of tactical crunch.
Okay. Yeah, here, like, one thing I dislike about the a lot of the historical games is that they do tend to end up with essentially everybody has the same units, and you end up with like this sort of single progression, the single power progression.
Yeah. Which is weird to me, but I guess that's part of the scale of the thing. Because again, I'm used to a whole class of games where the concern is modeling a battle or a war or an era, and there's a lot of attention can be paid to some of the tactical differences, some of the doctrinal differences between units and armies, and that's where you get the feel of the thing. That's the point of the thing. And so this kind of thing where it's kind of flattened out, and it becomes like a who'd win,
Yeah.
And I think that shit sucks, actually. Like, I don't want to I don't want to reveal my thoughts before we finish this class of 4X school, but like, of the historical games you've shown me, this is far and away my favorite. It still has for me the problems inherent to the genre, both mechanically and rhetorically. But I think there are ways in which, like, this combat system is so much more satisfying to me than anything in Civ.
So you were talking through it, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but I don't know if you saw what happened there, but they revealed about 1,500 additional units.
Okay.
But because of the nature of the terrain here, they had to bring them in as ocean reinforcements, and so they attacked us. The one unit of Teutonic Knights in our modern naval escort or our modern naval transport vehicle gunned down a huge number of enemy canoes, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think we're gonna have to deal with some of these guys. It's a little bit annoying. I'm not allowed to move the. I'm trying to figure out a way to like get these dudes out of the way, because if we can get them to, even to right here works. Although I wonder. Yeah, even to right here works. Like I would love to have this unit survive the battle, right? Even to right here works. We should be able to have the small bomber squadron come in and just absolutely annihilate that area. And then we can shoot down the other transport with our other naval units and stuff. Actually, I'm having a really hard time. Why can't you move the limits to people's movement in various situations are not always clear to me. What is your attack range? Very small. Okay. So part of what's happening here, why they got to suddenly play a ton of extra units, of course, is that we're looking at partisans here, right? They just have a lot of stealth units.
Yeah.
Because that is the kind of life they are out here trying to lead. So there's a steam frigate way off there in the distance.
That's kind of weird.
Is it?
The whole thing with partisans, these are people who are traditionally are fighting in a country that's been occupied, defensive guerrilla war, and having like guerrilla units as initially what was an offensive force.
Yeah, and they're only fighting here because we pushed through. Like they were trying to sail to our continent, I think, and we're fighting them here because we pushed past them accidentally because we didn't see them, and attacked behind them, attacked their own city behind them, while they were marching off to war. Which is
And this is a way in which I think that the game there's a fundamental silliness.
Yeah.
And yeah. Like, I would much rather see partisan units doing, like, basically what the spy units do, assassination, sabotage, and whatnot. Not really as a combat unit in the same way.
Mm-hmm. The
But yeah,
intense spitefulness of this land unit finishing off the useless horses instead of fighting any of the things that are killing it is very funny.
I think the plane stuff, like, feels about right.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish the naval stuff felt more like that, in that it felt right for the. I know I keep coming back to the naval stuff, but it drives me just bonkers. Like, I like to see an actual naval system, and I'm curious how the tanks operate. They're fast and hit hard, or do they have anything particularly special about them? You know?
They're horses.
Yeah, that's.
Not to disappoint you, but that's what you're going to discover is that they are horses.
You know, a common feature in some X encounter games with tanks is to give them like a second movement phase, either before or after their attack. And granted, this isn't a phased game, but like, even something like that, it gives you a little bit of juice.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
What question?
Well, you guys said like what I think of the war.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
This.
All right, so we were victorious in Ulundi. We took the flag. We were unable to. They were unable to get us off the flag.
We need to
So
take
they're going to
another look
lose.
with cooler heads.
They're going to lose 24 of their remaining 29 war support.
You're teasing me, huh?
We are going to 100. And we have now reclaimed all the territory that we lost from them. And like I said, I would love to end this war in control of at least one territory on their landmass. I think that's what we really need. To reduce the likelihood that they will conduct shenanigans again in the future. And I think we're pretty much good from there. We're using up all of our bombing potential during the battles. We have our own monoplane fighter now. What's up? Our bombers took some damage there. I intentionally took a shot inside of air patrol space just to make sure an enemy ship went down. So we're healing. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
These guys, I don't want to move onto the water just yet. And you can build science. Yep. All right, here comes our fusion generators. Oh, here come some bombers. And now it's going to give them war support for the bombing, I think. Even though that's their shit they just bombed. No, it's not. It's not. Okay.
Okay.
And
So we don't have to do anything. Next turn she will try to come to us with a surrender proposal. If I wanted to speed heal this whole army, it's weird that if the whole army selected, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I could just heal us all up to full for 6k and then keep pushing. I kind of think that's where we're at, right?
Yeah.
And then we just hit Harappa. Does it make much of a difference where we do it from? I guess like being able to get onto land is beneficial to some degree.
Yeah.
Oh, there's city there. Well, then I guess we're doing it like this. So our bombers are going to have a harder time supporting here because of their air patrols.
Right.
I think I'm still going to go for it. I think, hold on. Let me, oh, you guys are all just horses still. Like, we could move this army into reinforcement position, but it's all Teutonic Knights, and that's not very exciting. You guys could run down, but you're basically all not the right kind of unit also, and yeah, I don't know. This bombardment is not going super well. I can't get y'all close enough to participate in the battle. I can help participate in this, though. Do I have bombardment range on them? I don't. Pretty short range with these ships. Well, you know what? I am just going to keep picking at the aerodrome. We'll get through eventually. She is, I assume, offering white peace. I refuse.
You must be out of your mind.
Who would have thought? Well, it looks like I have the movement necessary to try to move around here. We don't actually know where their city stops. Like, we haven't had vision of this territory ever. So, well, okay, you know what? Actually, I am going to put these horses in the water. Because one thing that these units can do is they can just stay in the boats. And they can use the machine guns on our modern naval transports. Just have the horses lay down below deck and have the knights, the Teutonic Knights, operate the machine guns, just as they did in history. Yep. Auto instant resolution absolutely annihilates us with no hope, as it often does. I don't think this is quite right. Let's try something more like that. So, in the end, what did we pull? We pulled, there's a couple units of partisans. There's a single ship in the bay, in the strait there. I think this is okay. Do I actually want... Do I want to... yeah, you know what? Let's put some horses, like, over here. Okay. Let's do it. So... Wait. Oh, I could block the reinforcement point with one of the horses.
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
It's not hugely relevant, probably. Like, that ship is not... That ship is old enough that it's not really a threat. So I do wonder if maybe that's not even a thing worth doing. Let's see here. They do not have actual... defenses. They just didn't have anybody over here, so we're able to walk into the city in some spots. It's not clear to me why. Oh, because you're an elephant. You know, they all have the gun visible. It's hard to tell who's what. I guess let's move you out to here. Move you out to here. And we'll take some damage from enemy fighters, but I do think... Ooh. We will not take some damage from enemy fighters. They would annihilate that bomber squadron entirely. But I think, like, cracking this and putting their... Oof, boy. We gotta be really careful with our bombers this time out. So we can see some of them down there. Apologies if it seems like I'm slow rolling this combat. I'm really not trying to. I'm just...
You're fine.
So we have 3 conscripts there. 1 here, 1 partisans. There's still 2 partisans unaccounted for. And we can't see all of the conscripts. Maybe this is worthwhile. Just camp their reinforcement point with the horse. Okay, so we have pretty good vision inside. Yeah, I would have set up my units differently if I had realized. It's too easy to get confused about the elephants versus the riflemen. All right, let's move the elephants here so we can move the rifles into positions where they can actually enter the goddamn city. You know what? I think I am going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and throw the bomb. Throw a bombing out. We got to open up the front wall of the city. It's too valuable not to do it. Okay, and then we may see them fall in and play some defense here. We may not. We'll see what happens. I'm going to put these horses forward to just kind of like produce a situation where they could, in theory, come forward and shoot at a weaker unit, because they do like to do that sometimes, especially when we're not in control of their flag. Oh, did they spawn the unit through me? Does that not work like that on the water? Because we've seen that thing work on land. Yeah, it seems like it doesn't work like that on the water. That's colorful. All right, well. The rules are a sometimes food.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually lose any bombers on that last one. We probably will if we come in again. But we're pretty likely to do some very real damage here. Plus, it opens up a space where one of my units can move in. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get aggressive with the bombers. Maybe we lose a bunch of planes here, but this is the end of the war in theory. Okay, that did not do anywhere near the amount of damage I was hoping. But it's fine. It could be a lot worse. So our rifles... Yeesh. Okay, let's back up some of these units that are not getting things done to play bonus combat strength for the rifles. Yep, because that does still work for some reason. Oof. It feels like their fighters shouldn't be able to defend fully against multiple bombings per turn, right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in a new plan. New plan with the horses.
I mean, the way it's limiting your bombings per turn, it does feel like that would. Yeah.
There is a sort of like a weird everyone is everywhere at onceness to like quote unquote defensive maneuvers in combat in this game, which is a thing I like a lot less than Endless Legends combat system. Like
Yeah.
A unit gets to deal its damage one time per combat turn makes so much more sense than you get one attack plus however many times you are attacked. Units gain superhuman speed and reflexes when they are outnumbered. Yeah, this is not going very well at all. In part because I screwed up elements of our approach because I put elephants where there should have been rifles and thus limited the number of units that could get inside the city on the first turn. Or in the first 2 turns, rather. And now we're paying a very serious price for that. Okay, so this is a 58 strength elephant. It's actually not, we don't want it fighting that thing, ideally. But I'm not allowed to shoot out at enemies, which is weird. So it feels like I should be able to. Yeah, I think unfortunately we are likely to lose this battle entirely, which is going to cause annoying war support issues. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Actually, hold on. Let me... Yeah, her war support's not zeroing out until next turn, so the way the number of losses we have here is going to cancel out some of the war support. Ah, that's really frustrating. Really frustrating. Oof. We are not rolling well on combat damage either. Alright, just hang tough, dudes. Try not to die too much. I mean, they're doing a good job of hanging tough. Are they done? Can we... Alright, yep, he's coming over here to prevent me from moving a knight across the water into the backfield of the city. Okay. So right now, we've lost 6 units. They've lost 3. Ugh. Ugh. Terrible stuff. And for such silly reasons. Well, hopefully hopefully Brown is doing a little bit better. We're going to have to slow down a little bit here. And I'm going to need to reconstruct my bombers. Which unfortunately is a process that takes time. But the good news is we're better at building stuff than we used to be.
Yeah.
So at this point, like, communication satellite is where we would go to try to win a space victory. It is a 4-turn research from where we currently are. It's also on the way to several of the other endgame technologies. Okay, so she has hit 0 before the ending of this battle.
Hello, friend.
Hi.
We are happy to talk.
Cool. Why did I have a notification from you? Oh, because you were buying access to my resources. I can reinforce you. Show me. I don't think she needs me. Seems like she's got it. I see it. I'm not doing it. She's got it. All right. Let's see about this civics vote. Following others' customs is no threat to our fundamental foreign customs. Everybody else is on the side of cultural eradication.
That's gross.
And it turns out our vote's completely irrelevant because green has 3 times our 3 times the combined total support of everyone else in the world. So who cares? I'm still voting for cultural respect. But we do lose the vote pretty badly. All right, 26 extra science seems good. Oh, we do have the ability to pull another unclaimed wonder. Not that any of these are particularly compelling. They're all just an amount of fame, basically. I take this one. This is the one I would least want the AI to have. And then I don't actually think I do want to build it. Like I said, like I'm saying, I think it's pretty soft. Oh, just a good science down here. We get some good science buildings going down here. And in Chang'an, we can also probably get some decent, a little bit of research. All right, this army is going to remain idle, and then I think we're going to just negotiate the peace instead of finishing the battle.
Yeah.
So we got 50 points. I'm just saying, yeah, these are mine now. Interesting. Cannot offer this city. This is currently not occupied by the winner of the war. Yeah, I'm like, why are these even on here as checkboxes?
Amusing that you had no choice.
Okay. So she tapped out. We are going to once again. Oh, right. It costs large amounts of influence to do absorptions. I forgot about that. So I do want to absorb these cities back into Asandivat, but it's not something we can do right this second.
Yeah.
I guess we can establish Big Ben somewhere, or the Empire State Building somewhere. Like, what of our real cities is the city that's having the most trouble? The answer is none of them. None of them are really having any trouble with stability. Does it want to be near anything in particular? It wants to be next to adjacent quarter, or to market quarters. We just don't have very many, honestly. And of course, like all my districts, it would like to be adjacent to some mountains. This'll do. Just something for these 2 little fake cities to pour their industry into until they get reabsorbed. Okay. Well, good luck, Brown. I hope that you are able to do some harm without me. I mean, it seems like they had the ocean stuff under control. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, move. Hey. Okay, well. It's weird.
How did you get 12 agrarian stars? Plant 1 in the ground and have 11 more pop up around it?
I get it, like farming. The secret, my man, is humping. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and take the cultural eradication. Y'all are gross, and that's why you're losing. The meaning of art. The new Playhouse is a triumph, finally bringing the work of your most brilliant playwrights to a much wider audience. With your new cities now major cultural forces, art has become a mainstay of enlightened conversation. Given its ideological influence, you must now settle the question of who controls the artistic world. Who determines what is considered art? Independent artists, for the creative fire exists in each and every one of us, unlocking for us the artist studio, +1 influence on commons quarters for every adjacent district, or academic artists, which pulls one of our meters in an annoying direction and gives us the Academy of Arts, +1 influence on research quarters per adjacent district. This is way more total influence for us, but it does pull our bar in the wrong way. Here's the thing, I don't necessarily have strong feelings about this. Maybe not even enough to... Now, you know what?
The act of
We'll do this.
creation is itself a bit anarchic. Why not take that to its logical conclusion?
What I was kind of thinking there is like it might not even actually be worth picking something because picking something costs influence. And we're trying to save up to reabsorb our cities. All right. Ooh, we have a location here where we get 41 extra science out of a research quarter. And yeah, I think for the moment we just like science sprint, right?
Yeah.
It's 1978, Amabel.
Shit.
The mysterious captain. Newly arrived in your empire, one well-moneyed magnate is making a splash. First, he invites the glitterati to a mysterious party and promises a big announcement. Next, his guests sip champagne aboard the host's very own ship, a marvelously sleek vessel outfitted for adventure. Then he reveals his grand plans to sail to the ends of the earth. It's a stunt guaranteed to capture the public's imagination, if word gets out. How will you deal with this eccentric? Well, execute him immediately. Listen, anybody who can build this ship has too much money. So just immediately find him. You know, I like where their head's at. We can look past the silly luxuries and see a vessel equipped for war. It'll be handed over to the States, so we can just take his ship and spawn it as an army. Or we can publicize his thing. Glamour, technology, ambition, this story has it all, happening right in our empire. The world should know. Yeah, sure, that's a lot of influence there, publicization. Okay, you guys need to just kind of heal up. I think, honestly, they're probably just going to stay right here and do that. And then Chang'an. I mean, maybe we want to be a little careful. Okay, communication satellites researched. So, we have a very important thing available to us now. Once for Empire, yeah, okay, it's just find a spot and plant it. Vote on this crisis. I vote in favor of my ally. I didn't read it because I don't care. Ah, this will only take 2 turns to get down, even just using... Oh, I see. We need to clear out quite a bit of land for the launch thing, though. Okay. We should be able to get that done pretty quickly with some extra cities working on it. And from there, you know, we can go into some more endgame technologies here. So neural implants give us bonus influence generation, +3 city cap, plus money. Exosuits give us +8 combat strength and +4 land movement speed on all units that have the gunner trait, which is a lot of our units, to be fair. The World Wide Web. Sure. Well, let's go for some neural implants. There'll be no hiding from President SB, you know, the Swedes. Now that the world's first satellite is in orbit, satellite launches provide permanent vision over the map, making it increasingly difficult to hide strategic decisions. Would have been useful during that war. Our regiment was disorganized. Oh no, foreign enemies have... I forgot that we even had these ships. But foreign enemies have fucked them up, but good. All right. What about a polar satellite? That last satellite was pretty cool, but what if even more vision? What if even more fame? What if even more science, Amabel?
Okay. It sounds tight.
So let's build that right on top of the old site. Put all these cities to work on it. We'll get it done pretty quick. Chang'an, please finish what you are doing. Your help is needed. Are any of our cities not working on this right now? Yes. Knossos, focus. Asandivat, focus. And then I guess, honestly, there's no reason to care about Big Ben. Like, let's get... Oh, I need to, sorry, move this above that in the queue. Can we get it done in a single turn? Yes, just barely. All right, you completed planetary observation satellite launch. You earned 200 fame for your second project of this type. Yeah, we are absolutely blasting off fame-wise. Green has moved up to the final era. Brown still hanging out. All right. Satellite network will provide vision over 333% of the map's latitudes.
All right.
Huh. You don't say. If you upgrade a compatible national project site, you will receive a discount. Well, I think we'll do that. That said, it's gonna be a big build. Okay, we didn't quite get it down to 2 turns. Do we have any, like, pretty big industry bonuses we could just, like, purchase? No, not really. You know what? It's fine. Okay, apparently we did have it at 2 turns. We were lied to.
Hello, friend. We are happy to talk.
I renounce my grievances against my ally. We're best of friends. Y'all still at war? Okay. Keep her busy. Keep her distracted. I'm doing stuff over here. All right. Born of efforts to share scientific data, the web is a mirror to humankind's best and worst impulses. Also, we have discovered the whole world.
Not over yet. What about the seabed and the stars?
300 additional fame for our 3rd planetary satellite.
A phenomenal achievement of civilization-wide ingenuity. Perspiration, collaboration, bureaucracy, and a dozen supertankers worth of coffee.
We're doing it, Amabel. Okay, and then I guess we may as well build the Empire State Building. Is there another level of space thing that we need to research? Because, like, in order to trigger the victory, you have to trigger the Mars... Oh, space station. Yeah. We need space station. We need rocket science. Amabel, we did all that without rockets.
That's pretty impressive.
Can you believe that shit?
Do we use slingshots to try like a really big trebuchet?
I don't even understand how that... What? We did all that without rockets. That doesn't make sense. Let me put it more succinctly. No, we didn't. Like, for sure, that's not correct. Have to rebuild my emblematic research quarters because we ate them. Oh, Asandivat is going to... Nope, not quite. We're getting real close to reabsorption. Just building more science. Do you know what we need, Amabel?
More science?
Rockets. Turns out. It turns out they're important.
Yeah.
But I do need more science. Why? Oh, because I do. Amabel.
Okay. Is that
If
is
you're
that
going
a?
to go for economic
I was doing a
domination of
dog,
the
yeah.
world, the Empire State Building will provide
you
the
not?
offices to plan and execute it.
Yep, that's what we need. Rooms to sit in to conduct our
Here-
plan our dark deeds.
Here's the thing about Doug Funny.
Yeah.
He sucks ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Quailman?
Also,
Also.
both
okay.
of them deserve to be bullied. I'm on Team Roger. Roger?
Wow.
Roger the green kid?
Yeah, Team Roger
Don't-
Klotz. You don't hear a lot of people say that.
He needed just to calm down.
Doug? Yeah,
Yeah.
Doug was high strung.
You are here because
You know what? I'm gonna renounce.
A
I don't
sense
care
of
about this.
Perspective.
I don't care about these earthly concerns. Queen Tamiris is bombarding me? Are we at war? Oh, she's shooting at Brown and it damaged my stuff.
any day we speak is a good day.
I renounce that.
A sense of perspective. You expect greetings? Blades would be more appropriate.
I refuse demands.
You must be out of your mind.
Obviously.
No chance.
You want to have a war about it? I promise you, it will go so much worse than the last one. Let me tell you about all the things I can see. Okay, so we're just teching hard here. Just kind of flying through the turns.
Yep. Do you think we'll reach a game end trigger before turn 300?
Maybe. Yes. Yes, I do think we will. The recent construction of the nuclear power plant in the city of Chang'an has brought a great deal of pride to the local population. However, a senior engineer on the project has turned whistleblower and insists that the plant has serious faults and must be shut down while thorough repairs are undertaken. That seems like a serious problem, then. Other engineers rubbish their claims, rubbish as a verb, rubbish their claims as attention-seeking nonsense. How will we handle the charge? We will review. Obviously, we will fucking make sure. What are you, stupid? We don't take chances with the nuclear plant. Who's gonna pretend there's something wrong with the nuclear plant for attention? What the fuck? The claim doesn't
apparently
even make
rubbish
sense.
Rubbish is used as a verb in the UK.
I know, we just saw.
It's one of the many things with the English language that I feel like the English got wrong. I'm sorry, that's not correct.
Oh, this city has so little to do because of its tiny, tiny little... Ugh. Whatever. Stupid tiny city. Too expensive to fold back into real cities. It'll get there eventually.
I'm really surprised that use of rubbish didn't have like an extra U in it.
Rabouche. You remember when Leia dressed up as that bounty hunter?
That's in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah. Somebody's
I don't
gonna
remember Return of the Jedi,
somebody's gonna enjoy that. That wasn't
Okay.
really for you.
Okay.
The canonical name of the bounty hunter she's pretending to be there is Boush, Boush. I think I think it might be two H's. You know what's fucked? We don't get to ask for reparations on they blew up my harbor while fighting somebody else in the ocean. That's what I went to look for. It wasn't there. All right, you're in a scientist star. Is that the third one? Did we finish? This button. No, there's still 10 more. Wow, man. They got us behind.
We greet you, as always, with a smile.
You know what?
I hold
I don't know why you're attacking them, but I trust you have a reason. I believe that you know what you are doing. All right. if we upgrade a compatible national project site. Oh, we don't. Okay. This is a big space. So we need a huge flat piece of land. Okay, okay. There we go. Yeah, geez, that is you really need a lot of room. All right, we're gonna have a lot of overflow on this this particular space station launch, and then back to neural implants. Put what I told you to do directly in your brain. Okay, so apparently those other satellites, those were just racking up score satellites. These are the important ones. Interplanetary expeditions are expensive, but they provide a great deal of fame and glory to those nations able to expand toward the stars. What a giant leap for humankind. Amabel? Do you remember that thing?
Yep.
The thin blue line. Nope, that's not what that is. That phrase refers to something else. The whole empire, and probably most of the world, are watching with bated breath. Okay. As an astronaut under your great flag glides out of the newly constructed space station for the first time. After the first few steps of this inaugural spacewalk, the astronaut speaks directly to you. This thin blue line, they say, pointing, is all that stands between all life on Earth and the cold, dark void of space. It is a truly humbling experience. Along with the rest of the Empire, they await your reply. Your words will shape and inspire a generation. What will you say? We can add some science, we can add some industry, we can add some prosperous. I stimulate into it doesn't matter. The values here are low enough that it doesn't matter. All right, the lunar lander. Hey, what if we landed on the moon? It'll trigger a narrative event. You want to land on the moon?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's upgrade a suitable previously existing point for a little bit of a discount here. And what if we just like really focused hard? Okay, 2 turns. With great fanfare, your empire announces its intent to conquer one of humanity's most ancient dreams, sending a person to the moon. Launch day is still far away. I mean, not really. But you have already received a cavalcade of questions from media outlets all over the world. When your astronauts reach the moon, whose flag will they fly? Will this be a victory for all humanity or your empire alone? I choose to leave. I want to leave a banner commemorating the efforts of all of my allied nations. This will be a monument for everyone who isn't from one of these 2 nations. Me and my allies have really done some good work here.
A delight to see you again.
Whatever.
It's forgot. A sense of...
Again, I do not care about your earthly nonsense. I'm out here building a bridge into the stars.
Echoed through time. A first step onto another world, and perhaps into a great future.
All right, 200 fame for your second project of this type. But this time we're doing the important one. You did it! Not even an exclamation point does that render.
You did it.
Yeah, you did it. On the moon's ashen surface, your astronauts proudly plant a banner representing all of humanity's achievements, with special credit to your empire's allies. Leaders all around the globe praise your tasteful choice, which gives us an amount of influence that it's impossible to care about. All right, what if we went to Mars? Succeed in establishing a human outpost on our closest world, and the rest of the galaxy is only a matter of time. We don't actually have enough oil for this, so it is going to be boosted in cost a little bit to make up for not having the proper ideal resources. But
Is Mars the closest planet to us, or the closest is the... Isn't Mercury closer?
Mercury?
Yeah.
Sweetie, Mercury's not even closer than Venus.
Oh, Venus. Is Venus closer?
Venus isn't a planet, it's a ball of acid. I mean, like, it's a planet, but you know what I mean? Like, for the purposes of putting your legs on it.
Okay. I knew one of them is maybe you shouldn't stand on it.
Let's learn about exosuits because I'm worried about Tomiris getting touchy again.
I am pleased to see you. I hold no...
I could have asked her to give me a city. We're good. Wanting to believe. Unknown lights have been reported as appearing in the skies above Asandavat, moving in an irregular, inexplicable manner. Some call them proof that humanity is not alone in the universe, while others suspect foreign espionage of some kind, while many even claim it is somehow your doing, following our recent innovations in rocketry and radars. Alarm and excitement grips the people of Asandavat in equal measure, as does a lust for answers. How, if at all, do you wish to respond to these alleged, unexplained flying objects? Well, we could fleece some people, but not for very much money. We can mollify some people, and it's like, whatever. We could probe everyone involved. Or construct a secret facility. Whether this phenomenon is natural or technological, we must study it and ultimately exploit it. Again, we're choosing this because of the chances of the narrative event. These numbers are irrelevant.
My hope is we contact aliens from, like, we run to Horatio or something.
My hope is we probe them. Probe them good. Amabel, they deserve it. They've had a hard day. We learned about composite armor. Now our horses can be even better tanks. And our tanks can be even worse horses. Mama Aklo feels suspicious about me. I earned fame. Huzzah! Also, I may ask for reparations.
Pleased to make your acquaintance again.
Demand.
Don't pay and see what happens.
She said no.
Dangerous world.
Okay. I was bluffing.
A phenomenal achievement of civilization-wide ingenuity. Perspiration, collaboration...
Okay, now you said that one already.
And a dozen supertankers worth of coffee.
You said that one already, you cracker. Alright, the Red Planet. 9 short months after they left Earth forever, spacefarers from your great empire have completed the staggering journey across the cold, dark reaches of space to arrive on Mars. The team is in high spirits. The first phase of the establishment of a permanent colony on the planet proceeds well, and the opportunities for discovery and enrichment are near endless. With your empire bestriding 2 worlds, get it near endless.
Okay.
Like you might put it right on the shelf next to endless. With your empire bestriding 2 worlds now, your dominance is near irrefutable. The only question is, do you wish to let history judge your reign now, or do you wish to play with your rivals some more? So they'll give you 1,000 of each thing, which again is not even an amount that matters. Or we can just, let's let this moment be a line in the sand. And then I have to. All right, everybody, go help Brown build the Palace of Versailles. There's a button for everybody. Put this in your queue. I'm just now remembering. I don't know what it is. Wanting to believe too. At first, the facility investigating alien craft confirms only that most sightings were nothing more than drunken error, wild rumor, or attention-seeking. Yet soon comes the day when its personnel become particularly exercised by an unusual piece of debris recovered from the wilderness beyond Asandavat. While it is without doubt made from an earthly substance, the manner of its construction is entirely unfamiliar to them. Some propose that it could well be of extraterrestrial origin, while cooler heads argue that it suggests espionage by some foreign power. In either case, there is no corroborating evidence. How best to respond? Well, I guess we would share this amongst the leaders of the whatever, and we would get a little bit of science, and we would hit confirm, and then I hit end turn, and we'll never find out. We'll never find out what happened. But Asandavat will reabsorb Ulundi. We did it, Amabel.
Yay.
Say goodbye to our situation. At the end of the game, 17 stars in the final era did not complete our the stars relevant to our affinity. But, you know, overall pretty good. And we have gained like a couple thousand fame pretty fast there while Black just kind of stood in the dust. And now the time is over. Can I say one thing before we hit the end here and probably see a little cinematic?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's weird how time compressed this version of the space race is, because like I was looking at the thing and I was like, oof, Mars landing happening in like 2002. That's a little our civilization here didn't do so good, I guess. We were well behind the real life timeline. But then to land on Mars 10 years later because it's just the next project in the same line, I don't know. That's weird. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not that I'm into like realistic representationalism or whatever, but it's just weird. Anyway, you will be remembered as mythical SB. I damn well ought to be. So I got an athlete star. Wait,
I mean, do you just hit end turn again?
is that it? Does that? But we won.
Wasn't it at the end of this turn?
Is it the end of this turn? I don't know.
That's what it said.
Okay.
'Cause this is your last turn.
Why is this my last? The thing it said the last turn was the okay.
No, it said at the end of your next turn,
Okay.
and then you hit end turn.
I'm trying to figure out what is the button for add thing to all queues. Alt click. Shift click. I tried control click first.
Unfortunately, this time you are merely a bystander to someone else's glory.
Holy shit, shut up. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? I've been to Mars, bitch. Control Alt click. Maybe I'm wrong and there isn't a button combination you press to put something in every city's queue. I guess not, because I tried all of them.
What is the point of?
What? Oh, right, because I helped them build that thing or whatever. I will gain 15,000 influence. Okay, there we go. End game. Why was it not? Why would it be at the end of next turn? You will win the game. What is the could possibly? Okay.
And the next turn, the game will end.
Yeah,
Someone else might be close to you in fame.
but why end of next turn? Why not?
First among equals.
Gives other
Fearless
players
among
a chance to.
No, it
Without
doesn't.
inflating your ego too much, it must be said that you
Theoretically.
have claimed a mythic place in the tumultuous history of humankind. A great part of your legacy is the remarkable equilibrium with which you created it. You will be remembered for balance. You also gained fame from the construction of a wonder. Amazing. Congratulations on the success of your ambitions.
Of all of my wonders, the Pentagon's the one you
There's
choose.
another thing you should be remembered for. It is for the green, thriving world you leave to the future. One more testament to your perseverance. Part of your legacy was being involved in the longest war in history. Congratulations. Under your guidance, the thrilling tale of humankind has been rewritten in your own words. There may be future adventures and deeds, an even grander scope for this grand story. Regardless, you have left a great mark and answered the question: how far will you push humankind?
So obviously they partially procedurally generate that from your actual achievements. Okay. Best era, this one. We got 7,000 fame during this one. Livia got 3,300 during the ancient era. That's pretty cool, I guess. Tamiris looks beat to hell, which is fair, because we beat her to hell. This is kind of neat. I like the pomp and stuff here. I wish that there was a little bit more of a sort of a I don't know, cinematic, or at least something a little more celebratory of like the way you actually won. But I guess it's not the way you won, it's the way you triggered the end of the game, right? Because the way you win is the fame, and that's what it's counting now. It's just like if I went to Mars, I feel like I should get a cinematic. That's, I guess, what I'm saying. I should get a cinematic, and there should be a little Mars dude in it.
I mean, we can just watch The Martian if you want.
Yeah, all right. Make some mashed potatoes. Look at all the work we did, Amabel.
Yeah. So I think it's clear my opinions of humankind at this point. I definitely
It's not. I have no idea what
like
they
it.
are.
I like it better than Civ.
We don't need to see her.
You know, I think. Oh, here's your stat screen.
Yeah. So Sun Tzu did not survive long enough for me to even know he was part of the game. He was dead by the time we first got hint of where he might be. It looks like he didn't make it out of Era 1. That's rough. Queen Tamiris
Well, see, that-
devoured him.
That reminds me of a famous quote from The Art of War, which is,
Yeah.
you get killed in the first era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drusilla never pulled up into Era 6 here. Kahina also did not make it out of the first era. Longest war against President SB. It's true. That did happen. This was one of those things where like I settled around her quite aggressively, and I pillaged a couple of her outposts. And basically, it's just like by the time I had 3 cities, she still was only on 1, and it was not very difficult to push through her. But yeah, so that's a whole game of humankind. You can see all the graphs and whatnot. Look at all these numbers. I am actually kind of curious. Okay, so we were not ahead on science output until into the last era. Like,
Oh, wow.
round about turn 200 is when we actually surpassed the other player's science output. But it's not like we were super behind. It was just we were kind of keeping pace, more or less, up until then. Black got a little bit ahead of us and maintained a little bit ahead of us until. Yeah.
I think, you know, I definitely
It's so-
prefer the non-historical ones so far.
It's so weird to have you click religion and it shows you a line graph. Yep, that's religion.
But you know, as far as the historical forex goes, you know, I think I like you. I prefer the non-historical ones because of the problems I have with modeling stuff. But
Yeah.
this is my favorite of the ones we've seen. Like, if
Also-
they want to do a second one of these, they can.
Also, I
Correct.
think that the historical games that I have played suffer very badly from just trying to be about too long of a period.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that is not universally the case. There are historical 4X games that are focused on a smaller window of time. It's just that invariably they're about the Bronze Age, and I just don't care. You know, that's not 100%. You know, that's a little hyperbole, but it's not entirely hyperbole. Anyway, yeah, quit to main menu. We did it. We finished the game of Humankind.
You did it.
This is what a president
So
looks
what's
like.
next?
If you don't have skull makeup on, you're a coward of a president. That's what I have to say. What's next?
Mhm.
Well, I'll tell you. What's next actually is a little bit of a backwards sort of reverse detour, because when we were talking about the what if 4X but go fast, there was a game I meant to include and I didn't. I forgot to include.
Okay.
Include it. So this should have been in the unit with Northgard, because I think it sits really well right alongside Northgard, but I just plumb forgot. So that's going to be it for Amabel Goes to 4X School Humankind. Come back next time when nations rise. It's Rise of Nations is the game. We're going to play come back next time, we're playing Rise of Nations. And we'll see you then.